Alright, so in this video I'm going to introduce you to this capsule machine. It's something I bought from a herbal store many years ago, and I'm just now using it, and I think it actually might be beneficial. The size for this is, we'll just say double aught, so it's 2 zeros, and that would be the size, right? I've already made some capsules that are about that size, double aught. This is what they look like when they're not filled, if you can see that. And they're gelatin based. I've got links below if you want to purchase such a thing. This one, retail, and again, the prices on here is about 20 bucks. And then, I keep extra medicine bottles and different bottles around so that I can store what I've made. All right. And this particular blend is it's kind of an energy drink that I that I looked up and I like and I use, and it's ginger, cinnamon, and turmeric. And I'm just gonna say one for one. So I'm not gonna get into the whole chemistry of it all. Look it up, please. Again, I'm providing links below. I just want to kind of show you or highlight this contraption and the pills that you can get to make such a cool little energy boosting tablet or pill. All right, and I may use a different concoction. And again, I'm not a herbalist. I'm just using what I know works for me. I would implore you to talk to your physician, your trusted physician. B, know what works for you. C, do your own research. Okay, I grew up with encyclopedias before the internet, and I poured over encyclopedias, like 3, 4, 5 different editions, depending on whose house I was staying at growing up. And I'm talking about the 70s and 80s. So the internet comes along. It's like this is a worldwide internet encyclopedia. There's no reason for you not to be able to do your own research. And many times you can translate them if the information is in a different language, thanks to modern technology. So anyways, I'm going to get into how this kind of contraption works. We'll provide another link below on someone who does it like kind of more succinctly than I might be able to display. But I think this is a good thing, because nowadays you have to be able to dictate your own personal medicinal well-being. That's all I have to say. Again, I'm not an herbalist. I'm not a physician. Consult with your own trusted ones, but this is what I do. Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So this is double aught gelatin based capsule, empty capsule. There's a top and a bottom. When I separate them, there's a longer top, which is right here in my right hand, and then there's just the cap, which is in my left hand here. So the way that this contraption works out is that the longer one piece goes into the corresponding slot like that, and then on the smaller piece here, the cap goes in here like that. Okay, and just kind of plug them in there. Okay, the size is double aught or 200, so you need to get the home machine that's appropriate to the size that you want. The link to purchase such a thing, if you have the resources, is below. All right. So what I have to do is I have to take have to grab an empty capsule, separate it. There's a cap, and then there's the sleeve, I guess we would call it, right? And I will put the longer part, or the sleeve, in the big piece here, and then the cap in the short piece here, like that. And then the way this matches up is I'm going to keep doing that consecutively. So the long part goes in each one of these slots. The short or the cap goes in each one of these slots here. So the sleeves are in here, the caps go in here. I'm going to do it again. And what I have here is, you know, the empty capsules that also has a how do you say, how do you pronounce it, a descant bag, all right, 1 ounce, basically to keep these dry. And this green sheet here explains everything about how to work these things, but the key is you must keep these dry. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna grab another one. Okay, more to maybe 2. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing. So what I want to do is I'm separating them, taking the sleeve or the long piece. I'm going to put them in the next slot. The cap goes in the next slot, the corresponding next slot. And I'm keep doing this. You want to keep your, as much as you can, you want to keep this out of moisture. You want to keep your hands dry and clean, so on and so forth. So this is the kind of the first iteration. This is the first row here, first row there. Sleeve here, cap there. Okay? So I'm going to finish out this row, or both of these, and, you know, not spend too much time doing all this on camera, because it will take a while, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So I put the caps over here in the short end, and the the sleeves, we'll call them the sleeves, and the bigger piece. Okay, this is a tamper. You will see reason why we call that, and we'll call this a seat, and I'll tell you why that might be the case. Now I'm gonna grab another tool that will keep everything clean, so that we can continue to work and, you know, keep from wasting material. Okay, so we have already we've got kind of like a bowl or a tray to catch some extra product, and so I've got a little spoon here that I'm going to use to disperse. Right, so again, this is where our sleeves are. And this is my mixture of turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon. Okay, so it's just a powder. It's in complete powder form, and I can kind of tap that in here like that. And then there's another tool that the Capsule Machine gives you that I completely forgot to bring over here. Sorry about that. So again, this little card that they give you, but it's like a card, and this card is to let you kind of spread stuff out into the capsules. I hope you're kind of getting the concept of what's going on here, right? And you're just kind of spreading your product into it. Maybe I may need to add a little bit more. Let's set that aside. And again, you're just going to spread this around. And that's the reason why you have the bowl or mat or whatever you choose to use, so that whatever spills you can collect and reuse. Okay. Again, this is the way this is designed. Is that what doesn't get used gets spilled off to the side here. And you can kind of take this and kind of put this off to the side, because we can use that again, right? So there's an ample amount here that we can use again, right? There's still some more here. You can be as fastidious about it as you want, but this tool is the tamper, right? So we take this and it matches up perfectly, and it's going to tamp down the product, okay? Which lets you know that there's more space, okay? And we can set this off to the side, and then what I like to do is I can take this and add what I've already added, so I don't have to add more product from the base. And we can go back and forth, or however it's supposed to work out, right? And then give space out to the side here, and then scoop that to the side again, and tamp this down a little bit. Oh, I got more space, right? Which means I can add some more of what I'm trying to use. So you just can repeat the process until we get to a certain stage. Okay, so we're almost done filling the sleeves a little bit, and I've got my tamper and tamping it down, and I see that the sleeves are getting full. So I think I'm going to try to use the rest of the product here and just feed that in there. I think this should be good enough. And again, it just kind of scrape it across horizontally, vertically. This can kind of be done with whatever powdered herb that you have. Okay, I'm not going to get into all that. That's a whole another conversation. Again, I'm not a herbalist, so I'm not even going to try to broach the subject. But yeah, so we're good here. So what I can do now is I can sweep the remaining product and put it back in the container here. Okay, now what we make now, the next step is with the what this is for, the platform is for, right? We put that on here because at the bottom of this is kind of like a spring type of gimmick, right? So which means now I can tamp this down and kind of give it to make sure that it's real, you know, that it's real supported. Okay, and I could add some more if I wanted to, but I think we're good enough. Okay, so after we add the gimmick, now remember, this piece is the piece that we added the caps to. The caps are seated in there, they match, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over the top of the cap here like that, and I'm just going to press down just like that. That closes everything off. Probably do it a couple of times, and then you can take it off of the seat, and then you can kind of make sure everything is closed in your hands like that. And then, lo and behold, take these off. There's our capsules or pills. And then the way this is designed, like I said, the same thing on the bottom of this one. Is I can take this and just go, and there's our pills, okay, or our capsules, if you will. So, and then I can put them in my container. So for the most part, that's kind of how this contraption works with all the different working components. Again, I want to do this with some of the other herbs that I know that I like to use for myself, that are powdered. Again, this is a combination of powdered ginger, powdered cinnamon, and powdered turmeric. And I think this is pretty cool. So I don't have to make a tea out of it or anything. I can just ingest it, right? And in this potential project, just online here that I'm showing, you know, I could have packed it even more so, because there's some room for. There's some spaces going on here. Maybe you can see it on camera, maybe you cannot. But either way, it's an ingestible amount. These are gelatin, so they're going to dissolve in my stomach. If you go to the Capsule Machine or Capsule Connection.com, link is below. You can get there's a couple of options for the types of empty capsules you can buy, and they're relatively affordable. Again, this machine for home making it is quite affordable. Then there's like industrial, they have different industrial things. Just go visit it, check it out. But I think this is kind of really cool for making your own homemade pills, homemade ingestibles, for your self-reliance and overall general health. Okay, something I forgot to mention is that, again, I'm reusing an old medicine bottle to store these new capsules or pills in. Again, I like to keep these silicone bags in, alright, and I get these off of Amazon. This is a good brand. They're relatively inexpensive. I learned about these because I collected a bunch of pollen, cattail pollen, and when I was ready to use it, it was moldy. And obviously there's a moisture that got in there, and I just didn't think to put a silicone packet in here. There's already one in here, you just don't see it, but you know, you need to do that. I mean, and I would suggest that for any dry goods if you are able to do it. Otherwise it has to be really, you know, real tight, to keep moisture and other contaminants out. So that's just, you know, some food for thought for storage, for long-term storage, for your pills or for your capsules or whatever. So there you go. Again, so if you have, if you can procure some extra medicine bottles, do that, or save the ones that you got.